Red Bun means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. You know, it's crazy. I was planning on leading today's show with the statement that the Jets front office, Joe Douglas, could not have gone to bed after that game unless the Davante Adams deal is done. And what do you know? Now, of course, I went to sleep because I'm a student, but as soon as I wake up, I get a notification. Boom! Breaking news, Davante Adams is a New York Jet. And my reaction to that trade was, okay, this feels very LeBron-like. I've been saying this for years. The NFL is not the NBA. Stars do not run the league. But if there was a player in the NFL who had the closest grip on a front office like LeBron, it's definitely Aaron Rodgers. What do we call LeBron? Le GM. It's so obvious. This thing's been happening every year, right? When a LeBron James team hits a rough spot, LeBron's rolling his eyes. It happens very soon. Coach gets fired, players get moved. And LeBron can deny it, but we know the front office calls LeBron for moves. The same thing for Aaron Rodgers. You're not fooling me, Rodgers. You can go on the Pat McAfee show and deny involvement in the Saleh firing or the Davante Adams deal, but I don't think it's coincidence that as soon as the Jets lose 3 in a row, the head coach they had trouble communicating with gets fired, and his best friend, who's a wide receiver, gets moved in when he's having chemistry problems with his weapons. Like, this isn't the same organization that's already brought in his friends. Alan Lazard, Nat Hackett, Randall Cobb, Tim Boyle. We see what's going on here. But the big question today is, will this move turn the Jets season around? And if you ask me, I think so. Whenever the GM makes moves, they start piling on wins pretty quickly. Now, I don't think this Davante Adams deal moves a needle for the Jets enough for them to be a Super Bowl contender. But I do think having Davante Adams as your wide receiver number 2 with the 4th easiest remaining schedule in the league can help you get to 500 pretty quickly. I mean, if you just take a look at their schedule here, they're 2-4. Last night was a failure. They needed to win last night. It was a must win. They go to 3-3, and they have the edge for the number 1 in the division. But when you take a look at their schedule, although they have an 11% chance to make the playoffs going 2-4, they got possibly Russell Wilson next week if he starts, going to Drake May. You got the dysfunctional Cardinals, the Anthony Richard injured Colts. You got 2 games against the Dolphins. Who knows if Tua's coming back? The Rams are injured. The Jags suck. You play Buffalo again. You've already proven you can go toe-and-toe. This is a pretty winnable schedule that the Jets have remaining. And if you were going to take away anything from last night, although they did lose, play calling's much better now that it's out of the hands of Nat Hackett. Rodgers' best game. Run game's back. Garrett-Rodgers connection looks pretty good. If they had Davante Adams last night, let's be real, they win that game. They're 3-3 this morning. They just are. And I think this is why they make the moves. Because they cannot go forward with Mike freaking Williams. He's been a disaster for them. 0 catches yesterday. And you could tell Aaron Rodgers at the podium was pissed off. He said he drove home on the Pat McAfee show, said he drove home pissed off. Yeah, because Mike Williams slips on the game-winning touchdown. I mean, you can't – they have Davante Adams in there. They pull off that win. And why you make a move for Davante Adams? Because, again, it's a guy like LeBron. It's a guy that Rodgers is comfortable with. It's like when the Lakers bring in clutch clients. You bring in Rodgers' friends because that's what he's comfortable with. We're talking about a relationship in last decade that won, according to StatMoves, 5 NFC North titles, 71-36 win-loss record, 622 receptions, 7,500 yards, and 69 touchdowns between the two. Now, Davante Adams isn't arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and Rodgers is arguably not an MVP candidate anymore, but Rodgers is still decent. Adams is still, any given night, can go for 100 yards. That's who you want to bring in around Aaron Rodgers. And when you look at the price, conditional 3rd-round pick, take his salary, you can say it might be an overpay, but I think for Davante Adams, when you're going all in for Aaron Rodgers, this is a deal you have to make. It's just like the Lakers with LeBron. You're committed to LeBron James. You're committed to Aaron Rodgers. You have to do whatever it takes to please those people so you can live up to your expectations. You need to move Russell Westbrook, you do it. You need to fire David Blatt, Darvin Ham, bring in Anthony Davis, bring in this guy. He asked for Kyrie, Klay Thompson, you do it. If Aaron Rodgers needs to get comfortable, he needs to bring in this guy, you want to get him Davante Adams, you do it. It's the same guy. Now, again, like trading Russell Westbrook for D'Angelo Russell, Did that make the Lakers a finals team 2 years ago? I don't think it did, but they did end up going to the conference finals, and at that second half of the season, they had one of the best records in the league. Now, do I think this trade for Davante Adams is going to make the Jets a Super Bowl team? Probably not, but I do think they're going to get to 500 pretty quickly and still have a very good chance of making the playoffs. But I'm just looking at this news. They get Davante Adams. It did feel inevitable, but this is just another LeBron James type moment for Aaron Rodgers. The going gets tough. You're not living up for expectations. You're rolling your eyes at your teammates. Coach gets fired. Players get moved around. You start bringing in people you like, coaches you trust, and that's exactly what's been happening up in the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers is pretty much just like my guy, LeBron James, holding Jets, Rodgers, Lakers, LeBron, pretty much the same thing. But I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media, stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time, see ya.